Allow me to introduce Mr. Hilscher. And this is our son, Brahms.
Brahms is not like other children. It is very important that you follow these rules. Be good to him and he'll be good to you.
No offense, dog, but you kind of creep me out. Okay, so, I'm gonna leave you just for a second. I'll be right out. I gotta do some errands. Hey everyone, today I've got the Boy movie review. And not only that, but I have a special guest with me. His name is Ben, and not Brahms. Hello. Sorry, he can't actually talk. A woman travels to England who is hired as a nanny to take care of a boy. But unfortunately for her, he is not your typical boy at all, but a doll. As far as the story goes, this is from the director of The Devil Inside, which I feel like was one of the worst horror movies I had ever seen. And not only that, for those who haven't seen it, it had one of the worst endings to date. So that actually left me really worried about this movie, even though by the look of the trailer, it looked absolutely terrifying. And, you know, I feel like we have seen a lot of doll movies, like the Chucky movies, the Annabelle movies, and just a whole bunch of other movies about dolls that supposedly come to life. So, you know, I thought that this was a pretty interesting movie to check out this year. And obviously with this doll comes a set of rules to follow, where this one girl named Greta is having to deal with this life-size doll and basically treat it as if it is her own, as if it is a living person. And if by any chance any of those rules happen to be broken, all of these strange things just start to happen or could happen. I, right off the bat, felt like there were some inconsistencies with the plot, and it didn't feel like a very consistent storyline or something that felt completely original, though it did keep me hooked in because I really wanted to know what was going to happen, especially when there were some things that I felt were left unsaid or unanswered. So I think that was also something that I felt to be really interesting. As far as the casting goes, you've got Lauren Cohen, who, if you've seen The Walking Dead, she's in that show, and she will also be in the upcoming Batman v Superman movie, and she plays this American named Greta who comes in. I found her to be a pretty decent actress, considering that I haven't actually seen her act before, and yes, I still have yet to catch up with The Walking Dead. So seeing her here, I felt like she was decent, even though there were a couple silly scenes with her in it, and I didn't know if it was just an acting thing or if it was something having to do with the script. Then you have some other acting involved in this movie. You've got Rupert Evans, who, if you've seen Hellboy, he's in that movie, and he plays this delivery man. He seems like a really nice guy, doesn't he, Ben? But apparently, with this guy, it's kind of hard to try to be in a romantic relationship with Greta because this boy might try to take that opportunity away from them. And then you've got the Hilschers, who are responsible for their son who end up going away, and I felt like they were pretty decent actors as well, even though you don't really get to see them in this movie as much. There could be a reason why, but I'm not going to spoil it. So the things that I did like about this movie, obviously, the doll, Brahms, was just absolutely creepy. I love the look of the doll. It didn't even have to look terrifying, like all gruesome and whatnot, but it was just so creepy. And then having to see him like have this like disappearing act, on occasion, and they just do a lot of really creepy things, and just the stare alone just was really unnerving. There had to be some jump scenes in this movie, some scares that I felt, you know, there really weren't that many, and even though I would have preferred more creepy moments and not so much like jump scares that just really give me a panic attack, though I still felt like there were some suspenseful moments in this movie, as well as some dark scenes as well. I also really liked the production design of this movie. I mean, it's at this creepy house the whole entire time, so I really like that aspect of it. It really looked like the authentic horror genre film. The things that I didn't really like about this movie, not every part of this film was chilled to the bone scary, so I kind of wanted a little bit more out of that instead of trying to be disappointed by some things like that third act, which I felt was kind of a mess. So I wouldn't say I was slightly surprised by what ended up happening in this movie, but I just still felt like there was something missing from the overall film. So overall, I would say that The Boy was a pretty decent horror movie. I wouldn't say it's the best because I really am a fan of horror movies in general, and I feel like this was kind of a letdown, but I still enjoyed watching this because you never know how many times I'm going to watch this, even though I already know what's going to happen, but it's still pretty creepy in some areas. So I would maybe recommend seeing this movie, but I'm not exactly sure if you're going to particularly love it, even though I kind of like this movie. So I would give this, how many fingers? 3? 3 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of The Boy, and how does this compare to other doll-related horror movies? And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back over for Trailer Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.